Hey Jules, hope you're good. This one is a collab with Mora, who rushed out to me for on Instagram. Hope you like it.
Hey, what up, guys? How's everybody doing? That was yesterday's production stream. It was pretty cool. Don't know if I'm going to finish the track. It's got some bits that I really like and some that are just average. Love your vid on how you broke into having your own channel and label. Thank you. Cool. We got a lot of tips already. Thanks, guys. The first one is Elias. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's this. Yeah, Elias. I'm assuming that's you. Is this the right track? Okay.
All right, all right.
Okay. I think the mix on this is actually okay. I think the main thing is that the idea just doesn't feel very strong to me. This melody, yeah, it's not very compelling in my opinion. And it doesn't, like from a sound design perspective and automation, it doesn't move much. Kind of just feels like the same thing over and over again. So it's fine to keep that same thing over and over again, but I think you need to like do a lot more automation on it. Opening and closing the filter and, you know, playing with the envelope shapes and stuff. But yeah, I think the actual melody could use some work and getting it more, I don't know, more feels into it. But yeah, otherwise I think that's like the main feedback. Okay, Rob Jackson, holding on. Yeah, this is good so far. Okay, yeah, really enjoyable, really nice vibe, nice sounds, drums sound good. The only thing I think you can improve on is this kick. It's quite like weak in the sub. I think you could just change the balance of the kick like this. That'll sound, I think, quite a lot better if you just do that EQ on the kick only, not on the whole track. What else was it? Oh, this breakdown. I feel like this moment here needs to be a bit bigger. Like something really cool needs to happen here. It kind of, yeah, it feels like there's no reason to listen to the breakdown other than to just have a break from the drums. Like I want, I don't know, some maybe big like chord stabs or something interesting to happen here. Yeah, but otherwise it's a good vibe. Enjoyed it. Nice one. Okay.
All right.
Andreas.
Thanks for feedback, stream.
Seven-minute track. Okay, I might skip a bit through this. going to move a bit quicker through these because we've got a long queue. And yeah, with tracks are like 7 minutes, I can't really listen to the full 7 minutes. Okay, cool. So I think up until this section over here, I wasn't really enjoying the track, and that's mainly because of this lead. I didn't think, well, I just personally didn't find the lead very, like, the melody very compelling. But once this synth opens up over here, then I started enjoying it more, so maybe like the harmony of it works quite nicely with that lead. And this section is probably my favorite with, without that lead over there. I think this synth alone is the strongest part of the track. So I think that's a good idea. I think the track's maybe too long for how strong the idea is. I don't think it's strong enough to like carry it for 7 minutes. And yeah, that's like mainly it. I think mix-wise, it felt a little like bottom heavy, where I think you could kind of tilt the mix more towards the high end, especially on sounds like here in the intro. Like all the high end synths over here, they just feel too quiet. They don't feel like they're like subdued and filtered down. So over there, I think you could turn them up or filter them down. It's like take out that high end, because when you have high end, but it's like quiet high end from like a pad sound, it just doesn't quite feel mixed right. It feels like it's just being badly placed in the mix. So turning that up could help a lot. Yeah. So it's mainly just really trying to nail down the core like musical idea. In fact, in almost every case, when a song's not connecting, it's not because of like a bad mix. Sometimes the mix can truly be bad, but usually it's just the idea that needs a lot of work. So yeah, everybody should focus that, including me. You have a strong idea, then like the track seems to write itself. Is there a secret to mixing which I can't seem to find? Yeah, there's no secret. It's literally just setting everything at the right volume in the track and choosing the right sounds to fit together nicely, all in key, obviously. I think the best mixes kind of start with a good drum mix. So I think people should focus a lot more on like really nailing down a drum mix. Actually, this is a perfect example, a track that I've been working on earlier. Actually, me and Chechi wrote it he wrote the initial idea and sent it to me like at ADE. And then after that, I worked on it a bit. And then I haven't touched it for like 3 months, and then came back to it today, this morning, and mixed it. And I'll show you the before and after. And literally the main difference is the drum mix, and you'll see what a difference it makes. So I'll just show you a snippet of it. I don't want to like reveal the whole thing. Where is it? I'll find it. There we go. So this is the how the track turned out like after, 3 months ago when I'd finished working on it for the first time. I'll just play like this section here. I'll play here. And also bear in mind, this is like pushed as loud as it'll go. Like you can see it's been limited. And then today I just worked on pretty much mostly on the drums. Okay, so this is how this sounded. Okay, now today. See what a huge difference good drum mix makes. Yep. Yeah, it's like the high end, and it's like peaking at the same level. It's just the whole mix is just like completely opened up, and that's just like all the hi-hats and stuff, bouncing around and filling out space. Oh, hey, what up, Cubed? Haven't seen you in ages. Cubed 3. What makes the sound second version drum mix better? It's mostly just taking like the hi-hats and not just turning the hi-hats up, but like finding nice sounding hi-hats and a nice sounding clap and setting it all at the right volume relative to each other. Like if you have, just your main hi-hat as loud as that one is, but all the other drums turned down around it, that hi-hat will just feel piercing and horrible. But because everything is balanced well relative to each other, then it works. And then you get this nice loud mix with like zero effort. Wideness is the key. Wideness is part of the key. But you can't just panel your hi-hats around and expect it to sound good. It's all, it's all balance, relative balance. Anyway, let's move on. Gustavo. Where's Gustavo? Nope. Once again, the search failed. My God. Do we have a track name, Gustavo, that I can search? Ah, the name is Guy Evoke. Search for Guy Evoke, find your message. There we go. It doesn't sound distorted. Okay, it's a nice tune. It's like nice atmospheric kind of background kind of track, it feels like. I'm not really feeling the synth that's doing this. Got like high resonance on the filter there. This meow meow wow wow sound. Yeah, I think the resonance is what I don't like. I think I'll just change that sound. The low end feels a bit heavy. Like, if you look on this visualizer, you'll see this sub is like really, really bright here and thick. It's like just a bit too much, I think. So I think you could just turn down that sub a bit. Maybe just get a reference in there and see. I noticed one thing over here is in the breakdown. It just felt like a little bit out over here, like timing wise. I don't know why it just felt like that. On the second listen, it doesn't really. I think it's just the timing of that first snare when it comes in and you got like all the other delays bouncing around. It just kind of threw me off a bit. I think I would just remove the snare from the break. Doesn't need to be there. I'm listening on my laptop, I can't hear any bass. Yeah, I think it's because it's like a very clean, sine wavy kind of bass. But you can see all that energy is like around here. Yeah, someone was asking, how do I use the analyzer? Like, what do I look for? Basically, when you got to just get used to an analyzer and kind of listen to a lot of music, and you start to kind of get a idea of what this what do you call it, spectrogram should look like on a well-balanced track. Like this, you can just look at it immediately and see there's just too much sub and not enough of other stuff, broadly speaking. But also, if you hear a problem, then looking at this visually can help you see where it is. Like if you hear, it feels like something is like really resonant somewhere, like in the lows, your guess is like, oh, it feels like something is resonant around like, I don't know, 200 to 500 hertz. You can look at this and very easily see something bright sticking out there. And it's a lot easier to see than just looking at like an EQ and looking for a peak. And then the other things I use is like this. Like if I'm just balancing my kick and my bass, this is quite handy to just look at the waveform here and make sure that my kick is peaking above the bass, basically. But yeah, like to compare this to, I don't know, a well-mixed breaks track. I don't know, let's find one. Breakbeat. It's gonna be hard to find one that's like the same vibe as this. All the ones I'm thinking of are like really high energy. What? Oh, there we go. This is like, this everything happens for a reason. Alson. Okay, so if we look at the shape of this, just it's a lot more like consistent and smooth. There's no like huge resonances or like overly like bright parts that are sticking out. Yeah, and this sounds really good. Where's our track that we were just playing? Was it this one? Yeah. And compare this. Yeah, you can see like here's the old track, the reference, and here's the one we're working with now. We got this like big black empty space here. It's maybe why the high end feels a bit like inconsistent. And you got this overpowering sub. And also some like bright resonance down here. This is just more like a smooth gradient. It's nicely leveled right across. Okay. Let's see who's next. Who was that? Gustavo? Lexington is next. King of Snake. think I can give you your feedback now. So the mix felt good over here. There, it's a well-mixed track. As soon as that hi-hat comes in, that hi-hat is way too loud, the one playing 16ths. And so it immediately just sucks all the energy out of the kick and makes the kick feel weak. It's also like really piercing. And then you have similar problems here when the track gets busy. There's just too much energy, up around here. And it's like sucking all of that power away from the low end. And it's also just making the mix hard to listen to. It's hard to kind of focus on the right things. Like these areas where stuff needs to be turned down. Obviously you don't do this what I've just done on the master because it doesn't sound nice, but these are the areas that I feel like are just too busy. They have too much going on in them. The idea is alright. It's like that lead is quite nice. I think just turning it down would help a lot. And the drums sound really nice here, so I would like just roll with this idea and try and like just turn down everything and mix it back in until it feels a nice volume, because everything that comes in after this drum loop, it just isn't placed nicely. Okay, we gotta keep moving. Wait, what? Okay, AI is next. There we go. Okay, very nice, warm, fuzzy feeling track. Really nice, like emotion to it. I think the track feels a little like old school in terms of like the sound selection and like this eighth note, like pumping bass, is giving me like a little bit of like Eurodance vibes, which is not my thing. Also, I'm not a fan of the vocal. I don't know. I don't like these kinds of vocals, but that's just personal taste. Most of this is personal taste. I think the mix actually sounds good for what it is. It's nicely balanced. Someone said that clap feels hollow. I agree. It's like you've got all like the room of a clap, but no actual clap. Like it's missing like the body of it. So maybe you could, yeah, work on that a bit. But yeah, otherwise, nice vibes. Okay, next up is Elizabeth. I've just switched off tips, by the way, because I won't have time to get through anything more than what we've already got in the donation queue. Okay, I think generally the idea is quite nice. I like the melody, but I just think the sound selection is what really needs a lot of work, and also a bit of the mixing. Like over here, this snare roll just comes in so heavy. Like I actually got a bit of a fright the first time. So maybe just fade that in a bit more gracefully. And then I just think I would change the drum samples here. The high end of this kick is that high. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if you've added that hi-hat, but maybe you can just take it off or EQ it out or something. It just doesn't sound that nice in the kick. The kick is also like really boxy. And then the snare is like maybe a bit too heavy and like dubsteppy. You could probably EQ that too. Take out some of the weight from it. And a bit of like the high end of the snare. I don't know, something like that maybe. And then this kind of synth. It's really squeaky, and I don't know, it just doesn't sound like a pristine kind of sound. This one is also like really distorted, like, but not in a nice way in my opinion. So yeah, I think the musical idea is strong, but the sounds need a lot more work and replacing. Okay, next. Okay, Elias, I've already done a track with you, so I'm not going to do another one. But thank you for the tip. I'm going to do other people first. I don't know if you accidentally donated twice. Yeah. Let me know. But generally, just one track per person per day. Okay, so Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme. Nope. Okay, where is this? Okay, what's your track name, Crispy? Can't find it. You just like repost it down here or something? Oh. Okay. Let me try and find this again. Burl Faircloth. Jesus, how was I supposed to know that? Please, if your name is different, just post it in the message or something. Okay. Yeah, I think it's very repetitive. I think it feels to me like the drums need a lot more variation in them. Like it just feels like you've got one drum loop that you just use throughout the whole 8-minute track, and there's no sort of like variations where you're taking out certain hi-hats or putting new ones in, or adding like different drum fills and stuff. Just, yeah, it's lacking variation pretty much in all aspects, but especially the drums. And then like the rest of the track, I don't know, it just kind of feels like background music, like just background paddy sounds. It's nothing that's like really hooking the track. But like for what it's worth, like as like an 8-bar loop, the idea, I could see it has potential. Like you could build something good out of it. I think it just needs, you need to like really work on creating variations and movement, especially because it's like 8 minutes long. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move on now. Running out of time. Yeah, shit. Okay, Julian Schwartz is up next with the collab. Is it like that? There you go. Nice one. Very nice and warm and pretty. Yeah, I think it feels a bit background at the moment, though. It's could use something, I don't know, a vocal or a lead or something catchy, but it works as it is. It's like a really nice. I could imagine this being like, halfway through an album kind of track. It's just there to kind of give you a breather. For that purpose, it's like perfect. And the drums sound really nice. I think the only like mixing thing I would say is that the plain sawy filtered chords at points feel a little muddy, so you can just EQ them a bit, like around, I don't know, 300 hertz or something. Okay. Right, so just to let you guys know what the queue looks like. I've got Tree, then James Jarvis, then Alu, then Ricardo. We've already done Aliz, then 8M, then Nate Dogg, then Malkione. So I've got 20 minutes before I have to go. Like, I absolutely have to leave at 3:30. So I don't know. Chances of me getting through all that is very slim. But unless I like literally skip through all the tracks really quickly, which I think I might have to do. So Shri is up next. I'm sorry, I'm going to literally listen to like a few minutes of each track. Maybe like 2 minutes or something. Maybe I should just play like hot or not. No feedback, just it's hot, it's not. Okay, sorry I can't like play the whole track properly. Yeah, it's a really nice track. I think I like all the textures and stuff in the drums, but I wonder if it's like there's zero white space, like empty space in the track, and so it's like this constant like barrage of just sound that's there all the time. I wonder if you had some sort of like gap, maybe turn down those textures a bit. It would make the high end feel a little more dynamic and just a bit groovier, maybe a bit nicer. But maybe not. I don't know. Just try it. But yeah, otherwise it's nicely mixed, and for the type of track it is, this kind of like organic, dreamy kind of sound feels good to me. So well done. I think the only thing I was missing was like, I don't know, like I don't think it maybe doesn't suit the style, but yeah, a nice like melodic hook that's like very prominent and there and memorable, rather than just like these little twinkly melodies here and there. But yeah, for the style, I guess this works. Okay, James Jarvis. It's just too busy around here already. Too many different things, too loud. And I'm not sure what's happened here with this. If you look at this waveform, it's like you've limited it really hard. And it's got a ceiling, so it's not even hitting 0 dB. But you can hear it like on the kick too, like the kick is distorting and it's like got no energy in it because it's so squashed. That harp is too loud. I can hear like the elements work nicely together. If they were mixed nicely, then I think it would, sound a lot better. Everything's just, it feels like everything's just been slammed to the max into a limiter, and nothing is standing out because everything is like fighting to get into your face.
Every time
Yeah, so if I can like look past the mixing issues here, I do hear like a strong idea in there. Like the pads, the chords sound really nice and they fit the vocal really nicely. So just back off on that limiter and turn everything down and yeah, just readdress the whole mix down basically. It's hard, I can't tell you what to do because everything's like pushed so loud. I can't tell you what to turn down and what to turn up just by listening to it like this. Yeah. So it's definitely got potential. Maybe we can work on it in our next session. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm like rushing through this because I've got a one-on-one session coming up and I need to prepare for it. So yeah, basically I got 10 minutes left to get through a whole bunch of submissions. A Lulu. There we go. Okay, yeah, some nice ideas in there. I kind of recognize the vocal samples, like the little chops, remind me of some sample I used to use when I just started producing. It was in Nexus, and it was like one of the vocal samples. Is it that? Like the Nexus Rumpler that everybody used to use. And also this vocal sounds like is it from like a cashmere pack or something? I don't know. I recognize both of those. And that kind of turns me off a bit of the idea, just because I know those samples already. I guess that's a problem with using like these kinds of samples. Well, technically, there's nothing wrong with it, and if it sounds cool, it is cool, but it's just when another producer hears it that knows where the sample comes from, then it's like, it's a bit of a turn off. But yeah, it's the idea is cool, and I think maybe the track feels a bit too bright. Like the high end of the drums feels a bit too hissy and fizzy. Same thing with the effects. But yeah, that's pretty much the only notes I had in my head. Okay, rush. Ricardo Angelis. yeah, sounding really solid. The only thing was there's this pad that's on the left that's like that's like always there. I think throughout. Oh no, it's only in this last drop. I think it's there throughout the whole drop, and I was just finding that it was even just skipping through it was getting a bit annoying. So I'd say just filter it down and take it out at some point. But yeah, really nicely mixed and feels really full and solid. The melody's nice. Yeah, I don't really have much other feedback for you. Someone said, I think it's a bit bright. I also noticed my ears getting like a bit tired from the hi-hat. But I don't know if it's just because I've been working on music all day and listening to everybody's tracks. So I didn't really say anything because it feels like a solid mix down. Where am I now? Okay. 8MQ, quickly, let's do this. Okay, I really like the that vocal sample that just played is really nice, and I love the movement on those chords. The boom, 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 just over here. That drop feels like really warm and nice. I think this bassy sound that you have is like it could just be EQ'd a bit nicer. It feels a bit like boxy, so just try scooping out like some of the low mids on it. The the effects. It feels like it's this constant, like you have a sample that's got like this sweep going down, then up, and then down, and it just feels like really repetitive and I don't know, just like a cheap kind of effect that's just been abused through the track. So yeah, I think effects is something that you shouldn't overlook and just like constantly have like these typical like rises and sweeps going. It can sound like really cheap and unpolished. So yeah, just think about them a bit more and try and have like different kinds of effects, different moments, and really like think about them. What else? Yeah, I think the snare clap thing could be a bit louder and wider and just more upfront. The hats feel a bit like tinny and thin. I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Nate Dogg Stroke. Please tell me. There we go. I'm not going to download because I just don't have time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think the main thing is that it just feels like you've got about 20 ideas packed into a space of 2 minutes. Like, song doesn't really have an identity, just because it's like one idea after the next. So I think building a more cohesive idea is the right way to go about this. At the moment, it feels more like a sample pack demo. It's like just showing off a bunch of different samples that kind of are all in the same key and they all sound nice, but there's no real identity or theme in the track. Okay, next up, let's go. Last one. Okay, Melchione. Don't know why there's two links here, but I'm just going to use the SoundCloud one.
So cold, baby, hell froze over. Dodging bad vibes in my blacked out Rover. Dealing with lames is not in my culture. Dodging bad vibes in my blacked out Rover. Too many snakes messing with a vulture. With lames is not in my culture. Dodging bad vibes vibes in my blacked out Rover.
Okay, I think the vocal like suddenly gets like loud and quiet, so it needs to be compressed, processed nicely to get it sounding yeah, just more professional and consistent. I don't know, the idea is definitely not my type of music at all. I don't know. I don't really know what to even say about this track. It's like just so far away from anything I enjoy listening to. I think, yeah, the sample fits kind of. I really don't know what to say about this. It's just not my thing. The only constructive feedback I can give you is to, yeah, just compress that vocal nicely and get it all sounding nice and consistent. Because it just, that's what stood out to me as not working in the track. Yeah. Cool. I think that's it for today, guys. Unfortunately, I have to rush off. So I will see you guys next week, and I hope you have a good weekend. Goodbye.